Contrary to public opinion, rappers do not freestyle. What rappers do is they write down large chunks of rhymes and raps, and they got them all memorized, right? And then what they call freestyling is they're taking chunks and chunks and chunks of raps that they memorized, and then they mix them together, okay? Because they've done the work of memorization. Let me walk the dog on this a little bit more. Tony, one of my pipe dreams or my bucket list, I've studied from this guy named Ron White. And Ron White is the United States, he's formerly the United States memory champion. And I want to be like Ron White one day. But here's the thing, I'm not like Ron White, so don't expect me to remember nothing, all right? But Ron White, I learned from him, and he gave me the tools that if I'm willing to do the work, I can learn how to have a memory like Ron White. But it takes work. You got to do the work. And as an example, Ron White, for every number all the way up to like 300, he has special characters that aligns with those numbers. So he can remember like 400 numbers in a row because the numbers are really special character in his mind, and he's done the work. Let me give you an example. Let me just keep walking the dog on this. A musician, I used to try to play the piano, and in piano they teach you these chords like dun 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 dun, and you're supposed to learn all these chords. And then if you learn the chords and if you learn your basics in piano, then you're supposed to get good enough where you're just playing, and then you can do a piano version of freestyle, and you can do a jazz riff. Because if you got enough music in your head, then when you play, music is just gonna come out of you. And this whole concept of systems and freedom, it's so true in a lot of aspects in our life. Do you know people who are the most disciplined with their money? Those are the same people who really can bless you, and they can write a check. A lot of us would like to just write checks for people, but here's the thing. Many people that I know who are Christians who have a heart for wanting to help people, they don't know what's in their bank account. But when you're disciplined enough and you have rules for your bank account, you have a system for your bank account, then at any time you know exactly how much money you can give. So by counting your money and having a system with your money, those kind of people, they have an ability to bless more and more folks, and bless folks immediately. They don't have to go and check with the wife or double check how much money they have in order for them to write a check. They already know because they have a system for their money. People who are disciplined with their calendar, they end up having more discretionary time and more vacation time. Because if they take care of their calendar the right way, if they're disciplined and they have a system for what they're going to do, then they know what they're going to say yes to and what they're going to say no to. See, many of us, we got to learn how to say no. Let me just say that 2 more times. Many of us, we got to learn how to say no. Let me say that 1 more time. Many of us have got to learn how to say no. Okay? Tony, you got a minute? No. Okay? Oh, Tony, can you do this for me? No. You understand what I'm saying? And why do I say no like that for? Because guess what? I got things. When you come and tell me that, then you're trying to tell me whatever you want to give me is more important than what I'm doing right now. See, I know what I'm doing right now. I got 400 emails up in my box, and I already know what I'm supposed to be doing. So you come up, Tony, you got a minute? No. Do you know why? Because I want to be able to go home at 5 o'clock and play with my little girl. You understand what I'm saying? I want to go and kiss Nadia and go play basketball with Courtney. You understand what I'm saying? So Tony, you got a minute? Nope. Amen. And my point to you is, when you are rigid with your time, and when you have laws for what you're going to, when you have a system, amen, when you have a system, that system with your calendar begets freedom. That system with your task begets freedom. When you have a system and you put in the work, if you're a rapper and you put in the work and you memorize thousands and thousands of lines, then you can, quote unquote, freestyle, because you're just putting one poem together with another inside your mind. When you've done the work and you've done thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of practice with chords on the piano, what you're doing is you're just putting all of those riffs together, and you can then begin to play. When you have a system for how you deal with your money, and someone says, man, this and this happened to me, and this happened to me. If you have it in your mind, you can go and write that check, and you know how much you can write, and you can still pay your bills and still meet your obligations. If you have a system, look at your lives and evaluate what is not working. It's because you don't have a system. Doing the work, let me say this 2 more times. Or let me say this 3 times. Doing the work frees you from work. Doing the work frees you from work. Let me say it 1 more time. Doing the work frees you from work. And on a spiritual level, knowing the law creates freedom. Knowing the law creates freedom. Let me say that 1 more time. Knowing the law creates freedom. So as I shared all of these examples, I share them for one purpose. I share them for one purpose, for us to understand the harmony of the law and the gospel.